Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. As you can tell by my smile and already messing up my intro, this is something very excited about. I've been very excited about. So, and anyone who's followed my channel, and if you have, thank you very much. Knows I am a huge comic fan, especially Marvel. Um, of which mainly is the X-Men. And as a kid, each week one of the phrase I waited to hear every week was previously on the X-Men. I love X-Men the animated series, and especially those first four seasons. Fifth season was but and again, that's because of behind the scenes crap. But anyways, yeah, I love. I mean, that age in general. I mean, I loved X Men the animated series, Spider Man the animated series, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, Hulk. Again, the animated, or the I guess you say said the MCU, the AU, the Marvel Animated Universe of the '90s, was awesome. And Premier Monk, as I said, X Men, which was always my favorite Marvel group. So yeah, when I heard that when Kevin Feige and the rest of Disney announced that there was going to be an X Men '97, an animated series follow up to the original animated series, of course, myself, like many nerds around the world, were rejoiced. And we were like, can't wait to see, can't wait for something, can't wait for something, can't wait for something. But it's like, got drawings, got this and that. We know we got a number of the voice talent from the original back. Unfortunately, there's some who have passed away, so they're being replaced. And I believe one or two, like the actress who did Jubilee, is now going to be another role. And somebody new is playing Jubilee. But anyways, I just been waiting, and then we get a trailer today. I mean, Marvel's just been so nice and sweet to us this week. Super Bowl, we got the first teaser trailer for Deadpool Wolverine. Yesterday, as Valentine's gift, the announcement of the cast of Fantastic Four and a little poster and a date. So next July. I hope they can, make it. But again, the quality movie is what's most important. And then, at the end of this video, I may go talk about those a little more. And then today, we get the first trailer for X-Men '97. So I'm gonna shut up and just yeah. Here we go.
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm grateful to have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all.
Yeah, that last season animation.
Fate lies in our hands now. Now.
We have to stay vigilant. The professor entrusted us with his dream.
No matter how dark it is, we must believe in each other.
We get this done by working together as a team.
Jeez, Bob, keep buzzing in my ear.
Heads up!
Oh yeah.
To me, my X-Men. Magneto.
The last will and testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't even let's see. Was there any type of date? I don't think there was. Oh. Oh, what? March. Oh, okay. My brother's gonna get kicked out of it. It's on his birthday. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy this week has been so awesome. Okay. Sorry, stupid grin on my face. All right, okay. So that was my reaction and my thoughts for Marvel's Animations X-Men 97, which again, continuation. I mean, animation looks good. Continue, like I said, there were a couple of parts that look a little weird, but I mean, where I guess we're using, the combination now of traditional and CG animation more so, like kind of like in What If, which again, I love What If. Yeah, just so many thoughts. So, okay, that's the reaction part of it and everything. So now I'm gonna go on a quick little Marvel rant, if y'all will. Okay, so first of all, let's go in order of this week so far. Deadpool, Wolverine. I mean, I did my reaction to that. Y'all saw that. I can't wait for this. And as I didn't realize when we're first playing the trailer, I was like, at one point there was a guy who was just like, man, I love it when that happens, and I didn't realize that was Pyro. And so Pyro from X2 and X-Men: The Last Stand. So now, as we see all these other people with masks, who there was like that one person kind of, well, you see clearly someone with like a hooded figure, like a mask, where some people were wondering if it's Doctor Doom. Like, it's not Doctor Doom, and two, they wouldn't introduce Doctor Doom that way. But I mean, then you see when that scene with Pyro again, I see there's somebody next to him too with like the hood, a kit, and kind of a mask or whatever. So I guess these are I've got again people who have been pruned, bandits or whatever. So I'm wondering who's beneath those other masks, if they are other X-Men or figures or whatnot. Because again, exactly how this story is going to go, I mean, we get the basics from the trailer. Obviously, the TVA comes and get Wade, gets Deadpool. Now, is that because of his time travel shenanigans at the end of Deadpool 2, or is it just something else? Who knows? But there's that. We know, of course, the whole point, he's going to end up coming into the MCU proper. We see the 20th Century sign, Fox sign behind them, where again, we're assuming that's in the Void from Loki. Again, dealing with the TVA that we have. So, but I have a feeling now more so that all those masked robed figures, different people, are going to turn out to be various people from the Fox Marvel universe, mostly, of course, the X-Men. Like, so we know Jennifer Gardner is in here as Elektra. So again, is she one of those figures? Is that another thing that's at some other place? It figures in. Now we know that at one point, in the trailer, we see the back of what looks like, Wolverine, a Wolverine in the white suit Patch, which again, I'm just watching it, and I mean, I see him in the casino and everything, so I know it's Patch, but I didn't think like actual Patch. So yeah, it's just like I was like, I mean, is it like we're gonna see? I mean, because that normally that's in Madripoor, which we saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is as Obi-Wan said of Mos Eisley, you'll never find a greater place the quote's escaping right now, get me scum, hive of villainy, whatnot. Get my point. I'm just so excited. I'm sorry right now, as y'all can tell. But similar, as Obi-Wan described Mos Eisley, you can kind of think of Madripoor like that. Hive of scum and villainy. Okay, but including assassins. So might that be where we see Miss Elektra? Even though it's an older Elektra, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just so and Ryan Reynolds I trust, and Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige I totally trust, and Sean Levy, that this is going to be effing awesome, that it's not just going to be fan service for fan service. We're going to have so much fun and good stuff with this. So anyways, Pyro's the first X-Men non-Deadpool X-Force, X character that we know is in there. Again, we know Elektra is in there. So, like I said, our again, are we gonna get maybe a Fantastic Four from the Fox era? Maybe that would be a fun thing. And of course, again, as I know, some of again, some of the YouTubers I love, the cast of the John Capia show, the Geek Buddies, John Roca and his crew. People speculating that maybe they might do a joke with if they did bring Chris Evans in, who's Captain America, who was previously Johnny Storm. Maybe they'll make some type of joke about that or whatever. Or maybe we'll see. I mean, we might see none of them, or maybe we might see one or two of them, or what. I don't know. Again, there are reports we're going to have variants of Wolverine, maybe variants of Deadpool. Again, is there Lady Deadpool in here? Is Taylor Swift in here? Who knows? We don't know. It's all a big mystery still, but it's going to be fun. Okay, so that's one thing. Fantastic forecasting. Awesome. Of course, Pedro Pascal. I love Pedro Pascal, be it as the Mandalorian, as Joel in Last of Us, having Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman. That movie just was but again, he's a great actor, and of course, back to the Viper in Game of Thrones. He's such a great actor. So, Reed Richards, cool. Vanessa Kirby, I don't believe I've seen anything of her besides in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning recently. I enjoyed her for what who she was, her character in there. Maybe I need to check out her IMDb, see some of the other things. I know she's been in The Crown, which I've never started The Crown, but maybe it's one of those shows that I should check out because I know people love it, including John Roca loves it. So so maybe see some more of her stuff. Of course, Joseph Quinn, who's our beloved Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. Again, I don't think I peered at his IMDb too. I don't think I've had seen him in anything previous to Stranger Things, but I loved him in Stranger Things. I know that he's going to be in the upcoming Quiet Place Day One. So yeah, I'm off for them. And again, the actor who's going to be playing Ben Grimm the Thin, Marquand. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, I'm not familiar with him at all. Because, like I said, again, I glanced at each of their IMDb's because I do like to see like actors that I know what and love what they're doing, or old ones that I've seen or whatever, what their upcoming stuff is and everything. And I don't believe I can't remember. I don't think I saw an extensive list, but whatever there was, it was nothing familiar to me. So, anyways, that's Fantastic Four. Ready for Fantastic Four. Which is next July, a year from Deadpool. So, there's some questions, as I've heard other people talking about it after the announcement. Are they going to meet it, or is Marvel going to get it pushed back? Like a lot of things have been pushed back. But, as they're staking that now, because originally it was supposed to be where Thunderbolts is now, I believe. So we got Captain America in February, May. Crap. First we have Captain America, Brave New World. Then I believe, I think like May or March. February or March. And then we have Thunderbolts now in May, I believe. Fantastic Four is supposed to be in July. And tentatively, still right now, because we've heard nothing else about this movie other than the problems, I believe Blade is supposed to still be in the fall next year. Might that get pushed? I don't know. But again, they've pushed Blade so many times. I just want to see Mahershala Ali have his movie. And again, more of this supernatural side of things. So, anyways, there's that. And like I said, as far as X-Men 97, I just can't wait to see it. Like the original animated series, adapted some of the great storylines in the comics. And I can't wait to see what adaptations we're going to get for this. Because again, there's so much rich mythology in Marvel in general, but especially in the X universe, the X family. There's so much mythology. I think we're going to have to go back and go through it in a second. one part of which is Magneto becoming the leader of the X-Men while Charles was gone. You know, and basically, which I believe we did see a scene of him basically throwing himself at the mercy of the courts, you know, to try to redeem himself and be forgiven, and then becoming the leader of the X-Men. You know, I believe Mr. Sinister is supposed to be one of the big, you know, the big villain, if not one of the big villains, as he was in, especially in X-Men season 2. So if not the big one of the big ones yet again. Yeah, and just as far as, be it the animated series, obviously, or going into when we do start getting our X-Men again. I believe in Deadpool we'll start getting, well, we'll see, of course, the old X-Men, but maybe we'll get some of our new X-Men, starting with Deadpool and going forward. I think, be it in TV series or movies, like I said, I think there's a lot of ripe potential for drama. Obviously, you know, you have the whole, you know, will we maybe get, well, okay, because like they have the Phoenix Saga. I'm like totally nerding out. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to keep it short, and then we're gonna run back through the trailer one more time. You know, like in the comics, Jean died after the Phoenix Saga, and then Mr. Sinister made her clone Madeline, and then Scott married Madeline, had Nathan Christopher Summers, who became Cable, and all that. And then, of course, there's always dealing through that when all that was revealed that Cable was baby Nathan, and his relationship with Cyclops and Jean as an extent as kind of his foster mother, because he was raised in the future by them, and it's all a little convoluted, but still it's a lot of mythology and everything. So whereas in the animated series, when we meet Cable, you know, Jean reads his mind, and you know, we get to see the brief glimpse of Scott, and it seems Jean, not Madeline. So, you know, are we gonna forego Madeline prior and just make him the son of Jean, of actual Jean and Scott, or are we gonna get that now, just a slightly different version of it? I don't know. Or could it be Phoenix, their daughter Rachel Summers, from an alternate future? You know, there's a lot of things can happen. You know, one of the episodes I loved most in the animated series, which was taken from X-Men Unlimited #4, was the Mystique Nightcrawler relationship, and you know, Rogue, where well, you know, Sabretooth, Braden Creed, where it was revealed, for spoilers, anyone who's not seen the original animated series or never read a comic or whatever, it's not really a spoiler, because chances are you weren't going to do that anyways. Go back into, you know, years and years to do it anyways, unless you went back and watched the animated series. So in the comics we find out, and again, in the years, I haven't kept up with comics consistently in like the last 10 years for a number of reasons, mainly money, you know, and then not enough room in my house for it. I mean, I've got a ton of comics all over the place as it is. But anyways, so, you know, in the comics, they hinted for a long time there was some connection between Mystique and Nightcrawler, and we find out that Mystique, who is Rogue's foster mother, is Nightcrawler's actual mother. That at first was like that she gave birth to him with a Bavarian count, and then that was kind of retconned to be that, for those of you who saw X-Men First Class, the red demon or devil looking teleporter, Azazel, that's actually Nightcrawler's father with Mystique, and you know, again, which you know, Rogue is his foster sister, and also that Mystique also has a son with Sabretooth, a human son, Graydon Creed, who is, for those fans of the comics and the animated series, the leader of the Friends of Humanity. And you know, like I said, there's an episode that adapted of that Unlimited that was just so good, so well done. And you know, I believe in the years since they've kind of retcon Nightcrawler's origin a little bit. Again, I'm not sure. I just think I saw that somewhere. But anyways, there are so many stories. and I'm just going to name a few big ones, and then we're going to run through this trailer one more time, and that's it. I've talked your heads off already. It's been, let's see, where are we at? I'm not even sure how many minutes we're at. But anyways, so, okay. So, of course, many classic stories, again, which we've already done. Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, and that's canon to this new series. I mean, cartoon continuity, which, again, it was done so well. You have you have a storyline called Executioner Song that they didn't do a version of Executioner Song, but the whole thing about, okay, there in the comics, there's what's called the Legacy Virus, which for years was a big thing in the X-Men comics because it was killing mutants. Something only mutants got infected by, and you know, fatal, you know, if you contracted it. But anyways, so the story leading up to that is called Executioner Song, which, as I just mentioned, Cable, who's Scott and Jean, or, you know, Jean's clone Madeline Pryor's son. Again, he was infected with a techno-organic virus by Apocalypse, which is why he has the metal arm, which, as opposed to like Bucky the Winter Soldier, is not just a metal cybernetic arm. It's the result of a what's called the transmode virus, which something that basically turns flesh into metal, into machinery, and it ravages Cable body. He constantly has to fight it with his powers and everything. Anyways, so he had a clone. Apocalypse made a clone of him to be a healthy version of him without the virus. That clone, like Apocalypse, was kind of insane. You know, came back in time because he thought, if I remember right, thought he was the original Nathan Christopher Summers, and you know, tried to get revenge on his parents and all that. Is this whole big deal, but it's an epic storyline in the comics. And that leads at the end of it to the creation of the Legacy Virus, which was a big thing in the comics for a long time. And they kind of had a little version of it in X-Men the Animated Series. I wish it had gone much deeper, but you know. Anyways, so like I said, you have that. You have Fall of the Mutants again, which they kind of forwent, which was kind of where Archangel came from. Instead, they did the Cure storyline, which was fine. You have, I mean, again, you have Mutant Massacre, which that's what I meant. Mutant Massacre that led to Angel losing his wings, becoming Archangel. You have the Fall of the Mutants, which basically, again, through things, the X-Men were thought to be dead, and later on, you know, it was found that they were alive. Yada yada yada. Just so many bigger storylines. I mean, from the 80s and 90s, you have the Phalanx Covenant, which they did a little version of, which wasn't bad. A two-parter, which wasn't bad, which led into the creation of Generation X, one of the teams. Again, you have so many teams. You have, the main X-Men teams as they used to be red and blue, and, you know, now they've gone through different iterations. You've got X Factor, which we did see in an episode of the animated series. I wish we had gotten more. You have X-Force, who's led by Cable, which we saw members of, but never them as a team. You have the New Mutants. You have this, that, you know, there's just so much freaking X-Men lore. So, you know, which I'm sure we'll get a lot more of it in the animated series. And I know it's rife for bringing into live action if it can be done well. You know, so much drama. So, I mean, again, that's one thing about the MCU. Even though, you know, people have had problems with Phase 4 and 5, like I said, I found enjoyment where I could in just about everything. Yes, some have not been as great as others, obviously, but none of them that I would say were complete stinkers, completely bad. But, you know, one thing that Secret Invasion was close to there. I'll give you that. The end of Secret Invasion. The beginning was okay. The ending, not so much. But yeah, there's just, again, one of the great things Marvel has done, again, through the years to keep the MCU relevant, mainly through the movies, but kind of through the shows as well, is trying different things, different genres. Again, you know, from, you know, your main ones, Iron Man for the Infinity Saga. Iron Man's what it was. An action, and Iron Man 2. You had Captain America be a period piece, kind of as it was during World War II. And you had right, of course, Thor being just what it is. More fantastical elements as far as Asgard and all that. But again, of course, just him being stripped of his power, coming back down. Ant-Man, a heist movie, or the Ant-Man films in general, heist movies. Just fun comedy heist movies. You have, again, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which was a political thriller, kind of. Which I wish we would have seen kind of more of in Secret Invasion. Well, of course with Skrulls, but more of a thriller. But anyways, than it was. Yeah, and like I said, just going down, Civil War, just the conflict between your heroes, the opposing sides, opposing ideologies. Again, you have of course, Doctor Strange movies and all that. Again, you just have so many different kind of aspects of things. Of course, the Spider-Man movies and Miss Marvel were more of your coming of age, more John Hughes like look at things. And as we've had all these things, and we've had many dramatical things, of course, She-Hulk comedy. Again, was that comedy done the greatest? That's up for debate by different people. Again, I enjoyed it in general. Maybe one episode notwithstanding, but overall, I still found fun in it, where I know a lot of people completely hate on it. Again, like I said, you had WandaVision basically going through the eras of television. Hawkeye, a Christmas movie show, or a show that's set during Christmas and the drama and all that stuff. And, but I would dare say, even though we have all these dramatic elements, we have not had, now I'm not talking soap opera drama, but like drama. And I think a lot of what makes the X-Men who they are, as well as, again, some of these storylines I've just kind of mentioned, would leave heavy into that drama. Plus the fact now that as we do now have the Defenders, which was more dramatic and of course gritty and everything as part of the MCU, I guess, and it's on the timeline. So Kevin Feige hasn't said anything else one way or another. So I guess, again, we're saying they are all canon. Some people want to think they're just going to pick and choose things or whatever. And the thing with canon things is, with shows and everything, especially when you're inheriting, you gotta take things with a little grain of salt. Obviously, are they going to be completely perfect in transition, especially since it's one studio doing another? No. And to pretend that it has to be 100% this or that, or you can't say it's canon, I think is ridiculous. But, people making an issue of the Hammer being different in Echo to say whether it counts as canon or not. I'm like, really? You're that nitpicky? Really? But hey, whatever. So yeah, again, maybe Kevin Feige will clarify the canonicity of the Netflix shows, even though they're now on the Marvel timeline on Disney Plus. Now, again, granted, the book that came out not that long before this, within a few months, has no mention of any of the show. I mean, only the Marvel Studios produce things, but it has no mention, obviously, of any of the Fox Marvel universe. As far as, again, I don't have it, so I don't know. I've just seen people's videos on it or anything. So, like, for instance, for Spider-Man, I'm sure, of course, it addresses and mentions having those other two Spider-Man. But, Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Amazing Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man 2, I don't believe they're in that book. I mean, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, they're not in that book. They're not in the canon, nor are any of the X-Men ones, even though via Deadpool, we know these will soon be. Again, because they're alternate, realities or whatever. So, that was kind of the thought of what was going to be the case for the Marvel Netflix shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Runaways, and Cloak and Dagger. If anything, if they were to acknowledge them all, that they are just variants, multiversal, threads, other universes. But like I said, now that they are on the timeline, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders, as they're called, the Defender Saga. But again, they have X-Men Saga and this and that on Disney Plus. But as these are on the Marvel timeline, yeah, I mean, I think that's them saying these are canon. You can be nitpicky about this. Seems to, disagree with this or that. But you know what? Hey, comics. If you've read comics, like I have for a good, let me see, how old was I when I probably started reading comics? A good 30-something years, probably, if not before, because I'm sure I read some when I was really, really young, but I did, before I had my real love of comics. But for 30 plus years, there are a lot of things that they reinvent the wheel that could be looked at as contradictory if you didn't know comic logic. So that being said, again, got to give them all a grain of salt. Anyways, current rant over. If you stuck with me this long, 30 minutes, oh my god, I gotta get stuff ready. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble, and we're gonna rock through this trailer just one more time, where I might stop it here and there. Previously on X-Men.
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm grateful to have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all.
Okay, I'm sorry. Again, that last season's animation was just slightly weird.
My X-Men.
Fate lies in our hands now. Now.
That remix of the theme song. Callisto. Yeah, I didn't notice that at first. And Leech. Okay. Morlocks in the house.
We have to stay
Okay,
vigilant.
hold on. Let's see. What is this?
We have.
Inside Scoop mutant fashion show? What? Okay. So, okay, I'm just looking at this. I'm curious. Is that supposed to be like Banshee, Dust, Maggot, maybe looking? And I'm not sure that's supposed to be. Good Lord.
Have to stay vigilant. The professor entrusted us with his dream.
No more mutants. No more mutants. Yeah, down went mutants, back to where you came from. Okay.
No matter how dark it is,
Okay, there we have a sentinel arm. Looks like. Okay, yep.
we must
Oh,
believe.
yeah, okay, sorry. And this right, okay, so as it looks like Magneto before everyone, kind of like the trial of Magneto.
We must believe in each other.
We get this done by working together as a team.
Jeez, Bob. Keep buzzing in my ear.
Unfortunately, because like I said, if I remember right, and again, because I looked at the voice cast, I think Wolverine is definitely sounds differently. So I don't know if it's the same actor, but as he got a lot older, his voice changed a bit. I mean, it's not the like growl, I go where I want to go, that we used to hear. So, but again, it is what it is. Rocking the mohawk. Now, where is this? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Where is this? I'm not sure. Huh. Anyway, again, one of my favorite characters. Okay, so at a party, Gambit, Wolverine, Rogue, Jubilee, and Morph. Yep. Okay. All right. So, unless that's misleading, because does look like she's wearing a green shirt. So Jean's pregnant, as I said. Is that Jean or is it Madeline? And if it is Jean, because again, unless they decide to go back, and because again, Madeline was a result of the Phoenix Saga in the comics. So unless they decide to go back and change it where Madeline is created for another reason, we're going to assume that's Jean and Scott, as we know, who got married, but it was married by Morph, so it wasn't technically, I guess, legal. And then, they were, planning on getting married. Then they got married again. So I don't know. Well, let's see how that goes. But yeah, she's pregnant, it looks like, at some point during the series. So again, is that Cable? Which I'm guessing most likely it'll be Cable, or Phoenix, or something else.
Heads up!
Heads up. Hey, Rogue. As the guys from Previewed said when they started watching the animated series. Now this, what in the world? Gambit energizing Wolverine's claws? What in the... I'm just trying to understand how this is working. Because again, Gambit charges things with kinetic energy that explode. We know Wolverine's claws aren't exploding, so I guess it's just going to give the added bonus of when he claws at something, there'll be an explosion, but not the adamantium. I'm guessing? I don't know.
To me, my X-Men. Magneto.
The last will and testament.
Okay, so I like the shot. Okay, so I guess they were... Okay, this is another thing in the 90s. You had a lot of things like scenes where, again, they're just being normal. As normal as you can be, where, they'd be playing a basketball game or a baseball game or whatever. And that's what it kind of looks like. They're in basketball attire. So yeah, I just love this. And of course we see a very pregnant Jean. Okay, so it's Jean. For sure. No Madeline. It's Jean as the referee. So
Testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
Yeah. That's all I can say now. So after my 30-minute rant about Marvel stuff in general, that is my final reaction thought to the Marvel Animations X-Men 97 trailer, and basically a little recap of the Marvel news we've had this week, which, again, thank you, Marvel. Thank you. I mean, hey, are we going to get a couple more surprises? There's still a couple days left in the week. I don't know. But I mean, like some more information on Thunderbolts, maybe some actually finally good news for Blade. I don't know, something maybe. I just, as always, just thanks for watching. Again, as always, feel free to share, subscribe. Hope you give me that like, even though I ramble like an idiot. Hit the notification button so you know when I drop something new, and leave a comment below. What do you think of the official trailer for Marvel Animations X-Men 97? And thanks for watching. Peace.